Thank you for listening to today's program, Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by Vitality Integrated Program Services for wraparound behavioral health. Today's guest is Shelby Riley, our rural foster care recruiter. She's a licensed master social worker with Nevada Division of Child and Family Services. Thanks for joining us today, Shelby. We really want to emphasize the Nevada DCFS's need for foster parents this summer in Elko County. So maybe we could start by talking about some of the reasons why kids come to DCFS.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having me today, Lori. Well, children enter foster care for a variety of reasons, but ultimately it's when their safety or well-being is at serious risk for them being at home. So some of those reasons can look like neglect. Sometimes that looks like a caregiver is struggling with addiction in the home. Maybe someone is trying to escape a violent relationship. Sometimes parents face mental health challenges or they're incarcerated and they don't have anyone in their support system that's able to step up and care for their children. And so it's really important to understand that whatever the reason is that children end up in care, it's really, our system's not about punishment or punishing anyone. It's about protection. And the goal is always to provide that safe and stable environment while families are working to resolve the issues that led to their children having to come into foster care in the first place.
Well, thank you, Shelby. And Nevada Division of Child and Family Services, as you said, is there to help in the healing and reunification. I mean, that's the goal. But we really are lacking in this important transition, right? The need for foster parents locally?
Yeah, Elko is in need of foster parents now more than ever. Currently, we have 6 licensed foster homes in Elko, and every single bed in every single home is filled. So that really means that if any child, and of any age, of any gender, of any need, is to need a foster home in Elko today, they're at risk of being displaced outside of their community, which is absolutely what we want to avoid.
Shelby Riley is our guest today, and our topic on Wellness Wednesday is recruiting foster parents this summer season. Thank you for listening to Wellness Wednesday. Today's guest is Shelby Riley. She's a rural foster care recruiter for Nevada Division of Child and Family Services. So, Shelby, we want to talk about why it's important to keep kids in our local community. Some people think, well, they're going to go to Reno or Vegas, but why is it important to keep kids close to home?
Yeah, so we know that our children will fare better through foster care and that their parents will be more successful at reunifying if we know that all services are centrally located in the area that they live in and that they're familiar with. So for our youth, just imagine and put yourself in a child's shoes for a moment that is needing to go into foster care, and you are taken from your home, you're taken from your caregivers, and now you're taken really maybe from your neighborhood, from your school, from your friends, and really everything that you know that's familiar to you. You don't know the rules. You don't know if these strangers are going to be safe, and you really don't know when things are going to go back to normal. And so for all of those reasons, it's so important to keep some kind of familiarity for children if they do need to go into a foster home. So if they can stay in their same schools, if they can stay around their same friends, if they can be a part of those same activities to give them that normalcy while they're going through something that's ultimately outside of their control.
Shelby, thank you for explaining the importance, the significance of keeping our kids close to home and their support systems. So if someone is starting to think more about this, I guess there is a lot of support for someone who decides to be a foster caregiver, right?
Yeah, and we're really excited. We've recently expanded our training from 8 hours to now 24 hours of total training, and we now use a trust-based relational intervention model, which is a very beautiful model designed to equip foster parents with hands-on and trauma healing tools to support them through their foster parenting journey. Aside from that as well, once you're done with training, you're connected with a TBRI trained clinician to support you with any ongoing behaviors or challenges that you will expect to experience while foster parenting.
Shelby Riley is with Nevada Division of Child and Family Services, and our guest today is talking about a very important topic, and that's recruiting foster parents this summer season. Wellness Wednesday continues with our guest, Shelby Riley. She is a licensed master social worker and is with Nevada Division of Child and Family Services. And Shelby, we want to encourage those thinking about becoming a foster caregiver that they're going to find a lot of support. I mean, there's monthly online orientation, there's lots of training, and you're not just on your own once you commit to becoming a caregiver.
Yeah, and so we also offer, things that just ultimately help you keep afloat as a foster family. For example, you are offered a stipend that goes towards the care of the children. It starts around $900, and it could be more based on specific needs or age of the child. Most of our children will have Medicaid or will have health care coverage, and it's never expected for foster parents to be paying out of pocket for health care needs. And then we also offer subsidized child care. All children in foster care will be eligible for either a very reduced or free rate of child care in any local daycare facility that accepts their stipend.
Shelby, is it true that sometimes children who've been fostered in the past, they come back and full circle and they in turn want to give back to a child in need the way that they were supported? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and I can say from personal experience myself, I was in the foster care system very briefly when I was a teenager, and that experience moved me so much that I did go back to school to become a social worker, and now I work for that same agency, and it has been a very full circle moment to be a part of this as a child and really be able to speak from that perspective as well from a social work perspective and really just educate the community on, what's going on in the foster care system today.
Our guest today for Wellness Wednesday is Shelby Riley with a huge heart and, of course, trying to fill this huge need in our community for rural foster caregivers. We'll have more on this topic when Wellness Wednesday continues. Shelby Riley is our guest here on Wellness Wednesday. We're talking about the significance of caregiving in rural Nevada, becoming foster parents, foster caregivers. And Shelby, there are ways to help, even if you're not able to foster at this time. We talk about this topic a lot, but we're doing that because there is such a deep, deep need for rural foster care.
Yeah, and so we know that not everyone is going to be able to foster. It's not going to be the right time to foster at every given time for everyone. So there are other amazing ways that you can help your fostering community. Some of those include becoming a court-appointed special advocate, where you serve as a mentor to a child in the foster care system, and then you get to speak on behalf of that child and their wishes in court for them. You could also look into, if you're a business or organization owner, you can look at our website about taking the pledge to become a foster-friendly workspace. We've developed a set of sensible policies that you can incorporate as an employer and be able to promote yourself as a workspace that promotes being a foster parent. You can request a lunch and learn for any of your groups, churches, clubs, organizations, and we can bring a free presentation on the local need for foster homes in your area. And you can work on organizing a service project or donation drive for Christmas this time, foster parent appreciation, or even back to school. If you're ever interested in some of these ideas or more, you can head to our website to learn more about them as well.
I was just going to ask you about that. In conclusion, for today's Wellness Wednesday program, speaking with Shelby Riley, how listeners can learn more about foster caregiving, supporting the program, and the real deep needs that we have in rural Nevada.
Yeah, so if you're ready, you can go to our website. That's www.ruralnvfostercare.com. From there, we've got a lot of great information about our page, and you can click on our blue Get Started button to create your account and start applying to be a foster parent today. Shortly after you create your account, I will get in touch with you to move you on to the next steps. We offer a monthly orientation online the first Thursday of every month. It's no commitment. And then we offer our online trainings every 6 weeks. So depending on when you reach out to me, we can get you into those next sets of orientations and training. And we're looking forward to having you join us.
Shelby, thank you so much for your time today. Rural foster care recruiter, licensed master social worker with Nevada Division of Child and Family Services on today's Wellness Wednesday program, brought to you by Vitality Integrated Program Services for Wraparound Behavioral Health, 775-777-8477.